I said the last one was like 2.5, but we'll consider that 2.1, this being 2.2. Just another helpful tip on another part that I feel like many of us will have, which is hair. This doesn't apply technically to 100% of us, but important nonetheless. As you can see, I've finished most of the hair, but I saved a few for this part of the video. Let me hide my stock photo. So hair, a couple things. One, you want it to go with the flow of the hair, the triangles that is. Like the points of the triangle should kind of like peek around and move around with the hair. So what I recommend when you start hair is if they have, let me hide my poly layer, if they have a part in their hair, like hers parts right here, I would recommend that you try to start like the triangles from the part and separate like part or section 1, section 2 of the hair and have them kind of like flow down. The other thing that's really cool with hair that I'll be demonstrating today are the breakaways. These little triangles here that are not attached to the main part of the polygon grid. What this helps kind of simulate or give the aesthetic for are like these little parts of the hair that just kind of like feather out from like the main section of the hair. This works really well for long hair. Some people with shorter hair won't necessarily have this, but if you see any little tips of the hair that kind of stand up, it's actually pretty cool to separate them, and it's really easy. So we'll kind of get going in here, and I'll show you a little bit of my working progress. I'm just going to start a new triangle here, and I would say look at this, Illustrator reset some things for me. So keep this in mind here. We want no fill, and then our stroke, go back to the color that you originally selected. It is okay if you end up choosing a slightly different color or entirely different color because those will be eliminated at the end. Anyway, as I make these triangles, I am really just trying to pay attention to color, probably more than anything else. And I guess the flow of the hair. However, color will probably be your main indicator most of the way here. Something else that I've learned while making these is like right here, I didn't technically put a triangle there. You don't have to, which is really fantastic. Wherever you kind of create a triangle by creating others around it, then that will more than work. That doesn't happen all the time, so don't actively seek it. Here's one, for example. This area here, I will not be creating a triangle there. I'm going to go here and then up here and then back to there. And you'll see like that made a space that is a triangle right there. But I didn't actually make any movements there. So when those like happy accidents happen, like one is going to happen here, which is nice. Oh my gosh, two are going to happen here. Ride with them, like use that, take it to your advantage. But again, like I said, don't seek them out or try to create your grid with them. I think it'll just take too much time. I'm also going to put another one up here just to kind of like get that one dark spot since it's so distinct. Let's go down here to the breakaways now. So I want this little notch right there. And I'm going to keep kind of creating around here just so I can get to the breakaways a little faster for everybody in this video. All right, I'm here at where I think there's one clear breakaway. So what I recommend when you make these is follow generally where they are, but you kind of always want the point of the triangle to go out further. So don't have your triangle get like fatter or wider as it goes out. That just doesn't make sense. The hair, I would imagine, would not get thicker as it goes away from like the person's head. So try to keep your points all pointing relatively in the same direction so that the thing gets a little thinner as it goes out. And you can even do, I always like a few like really tiny ones, like right out here too. They always look pretty cool. When you're color sampling these later, the really nice thing is you just take the color samples directly from the stock photo. So you really won't have much to think about. So really just look at where you see them and just kind of mark them as is. Don't feel you have to like use much of your imagination to make these up. I'll put this one back in here. Let me just close this loop or like area, and I'm going to zoom out. And I will hide the photo real quick. So yeah, you can kind of see, I do think it needs more though. There's some strands down here as well. So we're gonna go and just do a little bit of work there, and then I'll stop, and then that way saves you guys a lot of time to work. Looks like we have one right there, so I'll try to map that. And quite a few out here. Sometimes if it is indistinguishable, it is what it is, and you kind of have to wing it. The other thing, too, that I'll talk about real quick before we break the video is I couldn't do any down here. I couldn't have the hair break away down here because it's still attached to her body, in which this will need to be filled in with triangles later. So I wouldn't recommend doing these little breakaways, as I've been calling them, unless it's like straight up background that we're not going to be low polying our background. Let me zoom out, give you guys a little bit of a better look anyway. Obviously, I still have some more to fill in, but hopefully this gives you guys a good idea. The next video will start when I'm about halfway done the torso or the chunkier part of the body. All right, guys, take care.